ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां दयाकरं दयाकारं दान्तं धर्मप्रवर्तकं प्रणमामि दयानन्दं मदाचार्यवरं परम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Verse. तपश्रद्धे ये ह्युपवसन्त्यरण्ये शान्ता विद्वांसो भैक्षचर्याञ्चरन्तः सूर्यद्वारेण ते विरजाः प्रयान्ति यत्रामृतः स पुरुषो ह्यव्ययात्मा। So we are seeing in the middle of this, we saw the meaning yesterday, the translation, that these are the previous verse were people who were doing lot of karma. What kind of karma? Ishta karma, purta karma, etc. All prescribed by the Vedas and the Smritis. These people are what are called forest dwellers. Upavasanti aranye, meaning they have left their homes. Why have they left their homes? Adi Shankara will say parigraha abhavat, because they have developed vairagya. Parigraha abhavat vane upavasanti. So they stay in the forest because they have lost the desire to maintain a house or to maintain their business, whatever they were doing. They have handed it over to the children. And they are not micromanaging them either. Yeah. This is not how I ran the business, how are you doing it? So you not only run the business, but you run your children to the ground, micromanaging the business. Not these people. These people have a value for a quiet life. For a life in the forest. Forest is upalakshana. So even the word aranya, don't think of jungle with the wild animals licking their lips when these people are meditating. No, that is not what it is. So the word aranya itself comes from r, to go, richati. So aryate, gamyate, sheshe vayasi iti aranyah. So, Sheshe Vayasi means in the last stage of the life, when there is Vairagya, when the dispassion is there, when one is not so interested in maintaining household, maintaining business or work, maintaining relationships, they all get very tiring. Not out of disenchantment. There are two ways to get tired of this. One is because one has had some kind of a setback in life, and so that kind of a tiring or that kind of a disenchantment is also recognized in the Shastra, and it is called Jihasa Vairagya or Shmashana Vairagya. Jihasa doesn't mean much, hatum ichha, that's all it is, but Shmashana Vairagya tells what it is, meaning funeral ground Vairagya. What is funeral ground Vairagya? There are losses in life. Someone departs, and then these losses are difficult to sustain in the heart, and so because one is heartbroken, the desire to leave everything comes. But this is temporary, or it could be permanent, we don't know. If the right, if the right intervention at the right time is done, that desire to grow out of samsara can become permanent. So this is one type of Vairagya that is talked about in the Shastra. It's called funeral ground Vairagya because afterwards one does pick up the pieces of themselves and time heals, and then one goes forth, business as ever. Now the other kind of Vairagya talked by the Shastra is what is going to be described in the very next verse as Nirveda. And what is that Nirveda Vairagya? What is that? A product of Pariksha, Sanskrit exam. No, not that kind of exam, an internal enquiry. And that enquiry is a Viveka based Vairagya, where all the lokas, all the fields of experience here and hereafter are thoroughly examined to see that each one ends in finitude and sorrow, samsaro, which is another name for samsara. Each one ends in this. And so that kind of a Vairagya is a different kind of a Vairagya. So here these people have not resorted to the forest because they had a fight with their children and sons-in-law and daughters-in-law. They have resorted to the forest because of the second kind of Vairagya. So and then what do they do? What is their commitment? Tapas and Shraddha. So this Shraddha here is not Shraddha. Shraddha means there is a, what is that, tapas is whatever is the karma given by the Vedas, and Shraddha, Swadharma, Swakarma, all that. So it's not exactly Shraddha as in devotion. So this is, so they are what? They are, one reading is, these are Grihasthas who have, what is that called? Migrated, so to speak, where? They have migrated to the third ashrama of the life. What is the third ashrama? Vanaprastha. They are vanins. They are leading a simple life. So if they are grihasthas, what are they doing? They are doing karma. They are doing karma and swa-ashrama karma and vedokta karma they are doing. All the grihastha karmas they cannot do because they are in the forest, so they mentally chant whatever needs to be chanted. Some of the karmas are mentally they are doing. So that is one explanation of these people, these people upavasanti aranye. Now the other explanation, Adi Shankara also includes the sannyasinaha. Who are these sannyasis? They are also given to meditation. They are meditators, because this is the section on meditation here. They are not only doing karma, but they are spending their time in meditation. So aranya doesn't mean forest, it's a place like a little bit outside where the noise is not there and where Swiggy does not deliver. Okay, so one is outside of the scheme of things a little bit, and so that one can remain oneself with oneself undisturbed. And then so they stay in the forest, and then these are also sannyasis who are given to meditation, and whatever little karma they have, they do, and then but they don't have jnanam. Atma jnanam is not there. They are committed meditators. They are called, what are they called? They are called dandi sannyasis, tridandi sannyasis, etc. And they are also called kutichaka sannyasis, bahudaka sannyasis. Even in sannyasa there are different types. So kutichaka sannyasis, who are they? They are people who are unable to take care of themselves because they have some kind of a illness or something like that. And so what do? Their children or people, whoever are close to them, their people make them a little hut or construct a little place behind their house or on the same land where they can be taken care of. Food won't be a problem, but they are left by themselves to do whatever they want. This is called kuti chaka, from kuti. Kuti means what? Hut. Their own hut or their own dwelling place they have, small place, and it is either attached to the main house but separate entrance, or it is separate construction where the loved ones take care of them, but they are left to do whatever they want to do. And then there is bahudaka sannyasinah. What are they? They frequent tirthas. Tirthas means what? The holy places. Holy places they frequent. Why? Because bhiksha is easy. Dakshina is given wherever people go. They will give food. Annadanam they will go give after going to the temple. India is very great in giving, you know, and then so anybody who goes to temple will give food for the needy, whoever is there. Not, so whoever comes up, they are either fed or they are given dakshina to go and feed themselves. So these are called bahudaka sannyasis. Again, no jnanam, they have a commitment to meditation. And so ye shantaha, so these are people who have quietened, Adi Shankara will say, they have quietened their karanas. So they have quietened their minds. They because of meditation, the meditation phala is to quieten the agitation and the restlessness that is normally in the mind. And then so what do they do? They are vidvamsaha. What is vidvamsaha? Vidvamsaha here means not vidvan, not the plural of vidvan literally speaking. Vidvamsaha means meditators. They are meditators. One meaning. Second meaning, they are learned people. They are shastrajñas of the first portion of the Veda. Second meaning. So they are shastrajñas, they know the first karma kanda, they know very well. They don't know even the spelling of atma jnanam, they do not know, but they know the first portion, and they are, in that way they are shastrajñas. You can say they are vidvans of the first portion of the shastra, or vidvan is also used in the Upanishad as what? As the people who are meditators. They are committed to Hiranyagarbha Vidya. All these Vidyas means meditations they are committed to. And then what do they do? Bhaikshyam. Bhaikshyam means what? Bhiksha, bhiksha bhavam. So bhiksha bhaikshyam. So bhikshayaha bhavam bhaikshyam, and then tasmin charantaha. So the charya means the everyday routine. So the everyday routine is bhaiksha charya. So in that tasmin charantaha, bhaiksha charyam Charantaha, they are going every day for bhiksha. Why? Because if you have a little hut in the forest or some area, where are you going to cook? And you are busy meditating all the time. So cooking is not happening, so therefore they go for bhikshas. And here we have to make a note, for sannyasis bhiksha is allowed, for grihasthas, householders, bhiksha is not allowed. But here it's an exception because they are meditating and they have total vairagya, so they are either almost a sannyasi or getting ready to become a sannyasi, so they go for bhiksha. And then so what happens to them at the end of the life is given in the next line. Surya dvarena, Surya upalakshita dvarena, meaning the marga. Marga means what? The route, the route, the route, the signified by the solar route, solar path. We have seen this in detail. When we talked about this earlier, we saw that Suryasya Rashmibhihi Yajamanam Vahanti. So here also these people they are giving up the body in Uttarayana Kale. Uttarayana Kala is what? January to June. January 14th to somewhere to the end of June. So there what happens? This is all a belief. This is just the idea. The idea is that they go and they have extra punya. That's why they leave the body during this time, during the punya uttarayana kala, and they enjoy swarga, etc. They go to Pitruloka, they go to swarga, where they have, great enjoyment. And then since these people have not just been doing Vedokta karma, they are also doing what? Meditation, upasana. They are doing so much upasana, and the upasanayaha phalam is what? Brahmaloka, technically speaking. But Brahmaloka very difficult to gain. As we have been seeing, Brahmaloka is not at all easy to gain. And so where do they go? So they prayanti. Ya to go, okay. So ya to go, yati, yanti, prayanti, prakarshena yanti. And then where do they go? They are led. Where are they led? Yatra. Yatra means the place where amritaha saha purushaha avyayatma vasati vartate. So who is this? This is the place of Brahmaji. And then what do they do there? They take a selfie. That's what it is. So first is they are welcomed in this loka, because this is the highest you can get in samsara. Samsara means from sthavaradi hiranyagarbhanta. That is what is samsara. Hiranyagarbha Brahmaji, because who is this Lord Brahma? An exalted jiva, just like us. An exalted jiva with more punya, with so much punya that they have attained the status of the devata. Same thing. And so therefore, they have, and even Yama is like that. We saw that in the 3 months ago, we saw that. Yama is also like that. Varuna is like that. All of them are Bhagavan, but they are Bhagavan with form and function. Bhagavan with reference to form and function. And then the form and function goes away when samsara or this particular kalpa ends. That form also ends. That function also ends. With a new cycle of creation, another jiva, exalted jiva, is appointed for those very forms and functions with a lot of power. So basically, going and staring open-mouthed at Brahmaji is not going to give me what? Moksha. It's not going to give me freedom from the wrong understanding that I am subject to sorrow, that I am subject to pain, that I am subject to all kinds of endings. It's not going to give me that freedom. Looking at somebody, even let's say Brahmaji is also free because Devata, exalted Devata, gained knowledge. Brahmaji is free, all knowledge jiva. So like Bhagavan. So if you sit with somebody who is free, do you get that freedom? Say no, so we can move on. Yeah, don't think about this. What is this? This should be a no-brainer. So you don't. Why? Because even though there is a value in sitting with somebody that is free, that freedom that you experience when you are in sannidhya with that person goes away when you move away, because that freedom belongs to them, not to you. You feel good by osmosis. That's why people go to have darshan of various Mahatmas. You feel good because you are sitting next to them, but as soon as you leave them, all the things that one was battling comes back. They all come back. And so Surya Dwarena te prayanti. So they go through this Surya Upalakshitena Dwarena. They go straight to Brahmaloka, because the punyas that take them, they have GPS, and so they take them, they know exactly where this Brahmaloka is, and all these meditators are led there. Who are these meditators? The Upanishad describes them as Virajaha. Adi Shankara converts it into Virajasaha. Virajasaha. Rajas means dust, dirt. So Vigatani Rajamsi Yebhyaha, or Yesham, both you can take. So Vigatani Rajamsi Yebhyaha, from whom all the rajas, impurities. What are the impurities? Don't look for dust, okay? Yeah, what are the impurities? Exactly. Raga, strong preferences. Dvesha, strong aversions, strong prejudices. So the strong prejudices and preferences have been taken away from whom? This is all the phala of meditation, etc. They are calm in the mind. Shantaha, vidvamsaha. And even going for bhiksha brings in freedom from raga dveshas, because that is also a kind of a sadhana. Because what is bhiksha? You eat what comes. You don't say, I want something else. I want other things in addition to this. You don't say, whatever comes, you eat. Of course, there is also the stomach that should permit. That is also there. So, whatever the stomach permits, you eat. And that the stomach itself is a wonderful thing that gives vairagya. Because up to 40, you can stomach anything. That's why it's called stomach. You can stomach anything up to the age of 40. After 40, you say, I can't eat fried food, I can't eat this, I can't eat sweets, I can't eat, what else? I can't eat gluten, and then I can't have grains, and then what else? Then what are you? I can't have milk products, yeah. I'm telling everything from personal experience, okay? Yeah. So, I can't have milk products, and then what else can I not have? What else what am I then? You cannot say vegetarian anymore, you cannot say vegan anymore, because it doesn't encompass anything. So what am I? Fresharian, okay? Yeah. So like this, the stomach itself is a what is that? Is a karana, is an instrument of giving vairagya as one grows older. Many things you cannot stomach, literally and figuratively. So you have to stop eating them or eat them in fewer and fewer quantities. So therefore, bhiksha itself gives vairagya. That's why they are virajasaha. So for ragadveshas have gone because of the meditation, because of the shanta lifestyle, because of leading a simple lifestyle, repairing to the forest area, etc. And then so therefore they are, and because of all this, they are ready to get their karma phala. What is their karma phala? Going where? Yatra amritaha Purushaha. So this immortal being is where? Immortal, Adi Shankara will say what? Apekshika amrtatvam. Apekshika means the samsara sthayi. Until samsara is there, until this, what is that called? This cycle of creation is there, till then permanent. This is not the amritatva of moksha, which is what? Ihaiva. You don't have to go anywhere. That also Adi Shankara will point out in a very beautiful and important bhashya here. You don't have to go anywhere. Where there is no going and no coming, that I which is centered on itself, and the truth of that I, when it is understood as what? As even being free of wanting to go to Brahmaloka. Wanting to go here, wanting to go there is not there. In fact, the wanting itself is not there, and that is what is called Brahmaloka, and that is where where means right here is the understanding that I don't need to go anywhere in order to be free. In fact, wherever I go, is that place finite or infinite? Finite. Even Brahmaloka is finite. Brahmaji, as soon as he sees that the world is coming to an end, this not the world, this cycle of creation is coming to an end, he also wraps everything up. Yes, wraps everything up, and then everything goes into a place of pralaya. Only Ishvara is there. Jiva also is Ishvara alone. Jiva is resolved into Ishvara. Ishvaratvam, the status of being Ishvara with regard to the overlord, with regard to a manifest creation, goes away. Jivatvam, the status of being an individual in this worldwide vast creation, helpless and powerless, that also goes away. Don't say Ishvara goes away. Ishvara alone is, because everything resolves into Ishvara, and that Jiva is what? Ishvara alone. Then there is a kind of a quickening. Like the baby in the 4th month starts to kick the mother from inside. Similarly, the jivas kick Mother Maya, so to speak. Let me out, let me out. So one cycle of creation, we say, comes to an end because the karmas of the jiva have come to a repose. But those karmas are not gone because they are what? Infinite. Mithya, but mithya infinite, but nonetheless on this level of talking, infinite. And so another cycle of creation comes. Why? Because of the urgency of the jivas to gain a individual body to fulfill all their individual and collective desires. Mind you, this is a interim explanation. Why is it an interim explanation? Because we have all kinds of questions. Where did this world come from? Where is Brahmaloka? Can I please have the address? I want to go there. All these thoughts are there. Where are all the lokas? Why did I become born? Why did I go here? All these, where did I come from? Where did Brahmaji come from? This is all an interim explanation for the people who will not be able to, in the beginning, we will not be able to understand that all this is a model. The Jagat itself is a model, and the Jagat itself is non-separate from Bhagavan, non-separate from its cause, non-separate from me. And it is a not so much a srishti. Srishti means what? Creation, but it is abhivyakti, a manifestation. And so from avyakta to vyakta and back to avyakta, this is how the model is explained, because one is not ready to go and see that this whole Jagat resides in me. One is not able to see that. Mayeva udeti, mayi eva udeti chidvyomni jagat gandharva pattanam. This is a very advanced text called Advaita Makaranda. Mayi, and where the author Lakshmidhara Kavi says the following: Mayi eva udeti, in me alone rises what? The Jagat. Like even what? A city of clouds. Gandharva Pattanam. Pattanam means Nagari, city. A city of clouds rises in me, and that is itself the Jagat. Why does he say that? Because when I say the Jagat exists, that Jagat, that universe is perceived and sieved through my own impressions. Through my own impressions. So whatever I say about the Jagat is filtered through one's own impressions, whatever it is. So is there no objective Jagat? We don't go there. That is not the idea. The objective Jagat is what? Vyavaharikam Sat. The objective Jagat is non-separate from Bhagavan. If I am able to see the Jagat objectively, then what am I? Baddha or Mukta? Mukta. So the Jagat has to be seen as Bhagavat Srishti, non-separate from Bhagavan, Bhagavat Abhivyakti. The Jagat is a manifest form of Bhagavan, Bhagavati. When I am able to see that without a shadow of doubt, then that means that one is free of samsara. And so here, this is Amrita means what? This is a temporary moksha, a reprieve, all right, by going to another Amrita. Who is that? Amrita Purusha. Who is that? Avyayatma. So, Avyaya means unchanging, again, relatively unchanging. Atma here is not Atma. Atma, of course, is always unchanging. Atma here means being. So, the being, the one whose being is unchanging. Apekshika Nityatvam, Apekshika Amritatvam. So, we have at least three kinds of immortality. One is what? The relative immortality based on kalpa, etc., apekshika, connected to the cycles of creation. Then we have pravaha nityatvam. Pravaha nityatvam means there is a certain longevity, a certain kind of a eternity is there, but this eternity is like saying Ganga will continue to flow, will keep on flowing. The sun will continue to shine. We don't know until when. So there is a certain kind of a longevity associated with that, and so that is pravaha nityatvam. And apekshika nityatvam means apekshika amritatvam. Nityatvam means conditional immortality, conditional eternity, conditioned by so many factors. And then finally atyantika amritatvam, that which is free of all conditions, free of time, free of space, for which you don't have to go anywhere, for which you have to understand that I am free of all limitations through Atma Jnanam, which by the way these people do not have. Okay, so they go there. So this is the ultimate that you can get in what? In samsara. You cannot get anything else in samsara. This is the final prasada gift. This is the final gift of samsara. Whatever, and samsara means what? Karma phala upalakshita. So that karma phala, what is karma phala? The result of all your actions, laukika and vaidika, religious actions, spiritual actions, and then what else? Worldly actions. So whatever you do, you are guaranteed a result. And so the karma can take you up till where? Brahmaloka, some kind of a loka where you can stay for a long time. And of course, there is a little loophole there. What is the loophole? You can learn the Upanishad from Brahmaji and then get liberated. It is called Krama Mukti. But that is not possible for everybody. Because if we go with all the ragadveshas we have here, then even though we are virajasaha, still those things have not completely dropped. Then one is not qualified for that knowledge, qualified for that understanding. And so therefore very, very few people can even do the meditation that is done by these people shown here in this mantra. Very few people can go to Brahmaloka. And so this is how they lead. And this mantra shows the total limitations of samsara. This is as much as you can get. This is as much as you can get. You can't get anything more than this. Nothing more than this can be promised to you. All this is all that you can get. Beyond this, it's not possible. And so, Bhashya says, Ye punaha tad viparitaha jnana yuktaha vanaprasthaha sannyasinascha tapashraddhe. Yeah. So, we'll stop here. Sannyasinascha, we'll stop. Tapashraddhe, we'll take it later. So, ye punaha. Punaha means furthermore. These people, who are these people? These people who are prakrita here, contextually, these people who are going to be talked about. Who are they? Tad viparitaha. Tad viparitaha means those karminaha that were talked about in the previous verse, who were only doing karma. What kind of karma? Ishtapurta karma. Those separate from that. Tasmat tesham viparitaha. So tebhyah viparitaha. So different from them. Tad viparitaha. Who are these people? They are jnana yuktaha. Their life is full of meditation also. And who are they? Two classes of people, as we saw. The grihasthas, who are vanaprasthaha, vanaprasthins, or who are the sannyasis, which we talked about. And what do? Tapashraddhehi. Tapaha swashrama vihitam karma shraddha hiranyagarbhadi vishaya vidya. So they do tapas and shraddha. What is tapas? Tapas is not religious austerities. Tapas here means swadharma. Whatever is prescribed to them at that particular ashrama, swadharma, they do. Whatever karma they have to do, they do. And then shraddha means all kinds of upasana, because it's based on shraddha. What is the upasanas? Hiranyagarbha upasana, Dahara Vidya upasana, Hrit Pundarika upasana, to name a few. All these kinds of vishaya. Vishaya means the subject matter of which is Hiranyagarbhadi upasana. Vidya here means not self-knowledge, upasana. So, te tapashraddhe upavasanti sevante aranye vartamanaha santaha. Yeah, so these people, not much else to say, we have already seen this. So they repair to a Vijana Pradesha. Vijana Pradesha means a place which is not populated by too many people. And the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita will describe it as Aratihi Janasamsadi. Aratihi means not having a longing for what? Janasamsadi. Samsad means assembly. So samsadi, in that assembly of people, we don't have a longing for that. Usually what happens, there is a crowd. You are just going for a walk. There is a crowd that is there. And so the regular people, what will they do? They will quickly go see, why are people gathered here? What's happening? Did somebody die? Did somebody is needing something? Or maybe something free is being given. After all, this is Rishikesh. People keep doing dhanam every day. What is being given? How much? Should I stand in line? How big is the line? All these thoughts come, and we go to inquire what is the source of why the crowd has gathered. And soon we become part of the crowd. We forget what we had come to go to the market, we had come to go for a walk or to meet somebody, we forget. So these people are such that when they see the crowd, what do? They make a U-turn and go the other way. They say, traffic jam, let me find another way to reach my destination. So aratihi, they don't have a longing for assembly of people. They are not disenchanted, they don't hate the people, but they want to just remain with themselves. And then, so therefore, sevante means they enjoy being in the aranya, etc. Aranye vartamanaha, remaining in the forest. It's that's why, see, Adi Shankara is so beautiful. He says vartamanaha, present continuous, because there are many people who say, I will go for a weekend. Yes, I'll go for a weekend to the forest. So many things are there. You can live, you can have a, what should I say, a getaway. You can book a Airbnb and B. Yeah, so something was not right on you. Airbnb and B. You can book something there. It's in the middle of nowhere. You can book it. You can go enjoy. 48 hours later, you are back and you write a blog about it. Yeah. So those are not the people here. They are aranye vartamanaha santaha, remaining there. They are not going there for an experience. They are not going there for a little change. They are remaining there. They are committed to this kind of a lifestyle. And then, so then after that, what else are they? Shantaha, uparata karanagramaha. Yeah. So Karanagrama means, grama here is not village. Don't say which village they went to. Yeah. Grama means group. Group of Karanas. What are Karanas? What are Karanas? Yeah. What kind of Karanas are there? Jnanendriya and Karmendriyas. How many that makes? 10. Plus one more Karana we should not forget. What else? Antahkarana. So, Manaha, Buddhi, Chittam, Ahankara. So all of them are Shanta, tranquilized, not through anesthesia or some drug or some injection, but through the dint of meditation and leading a life committed to subduing ragadveshas. So the mind is not like a washing machine, completely agitated with all the thoughts going up and down. The hands are not restless. The legs are not restless. Where shall I go now? What to do now? And then what else? The 5 indriyas are also tranquil, because the mind is tranquil. The mind is the boss of the indriyas. The mind controls the indriyas, and the buddhi controls the mind. So all of them are tranquil. So the indriyas are also, the group of indriyas, all of them are very, very tranquil, meaning a stress-free life they lead. They are not stressed out where to go, what to achieve next. They are neither trying to get something, nor they are trying to what? Get rid of something. Heyopadeya varjitaha. Because there is nothing heya to be got. There is nothing upadeya to be got rid of. So they are not wanting to collect something, they are not wanting to get rid of something, either internal or external. Externally also they are not collecting things or wanting to get rid of things, and internally also they are not wanting to, they are not afraid of their antahkarana, they are not wanting to get away from themselves. That is also another Shantaha, Uparata Karanagramaha. Beautiful. So, then who are they? Vidvamsaha, Grihasthascha, Jnana Pradanaha Ityarthaha. So, Vidvamsaha means they are, Adi Shankara doesn't comment so much, but he talks about evolved Grihasthas who are Jnana Pradhanaha, means whose activities are mostly meditation. Mostly meditation. And we also saw another meaning for Vidvamsaha, they are learned in the what? First portion, Shastrajnaha, don't forget, Shastrajnaha, first portion of the Veda is by-hearted by them, they know it completely. And so what do? Bhaikṣacharyam charantaha parigraha abhavat upavasanti aranye iti sambandhaha. Yeah, so bhaikshcharyam charantah, they resort to a life of begging alms. Why? Adi Shankara says parigraha abhavat, because they have vairagya. Parigraha is a very important value in the Yoga Sutra. Parigraha means collection. So parigraha abhava, not wanting to keep collecting things, not just food here, everything. So because they have vairagya, this is parigraha abhava is vairagya lakshana. So they have vairagya, so they don't want to collect anything anymore. And Adi Shankara says, please do the math. What is the math here? Upavasanti aranye iti purvoktena sambandha. We have already said that they are living in the forest. How are they going to cook? Where are they going to? The nearest grocery store is several miles away. Where are they going to go shopping? And maybe they are growing their own food, but still all this to keep a household requires a lot of effort, and that effort will take away from the time they have given to, which is a life committed to meditation. So therefore it's easier for them to beg for their food, because they don't care what they eat and they have really strong stomachs. So that also we have to add. So then, so this is, so Adi Shankara says that there is a connection between Aranyavasa and Bhaikshacharya. Iti sambandha. This is how the sentence has to be connected, construed. And so they are a relaxed life. Why is there no stress? Because they don't have to work for a living. They don't need a new sofa set. They don't have to work for a living. Because only when you want things, you have to work for a living. So they don't have to work for a living, and then they don't have to also manage all the conflicts, household conflicts, in-law conflicts, outlaw conflicts, all this they don't have to manage. So then their day-to-day life their roles are very, very limited. At the most, they encounter another grihastha and they say Om Namah Shivaya. That's about it. They don't complain how hard it is to live in the forest. Why? Uparata karana gramaha te. They are all, what is that, grown up emotionally. And so that is how they are. And so therefore, what else? Yeah, so they are freed from punya papa. But why? Because they are virajaha. But before that we have to see one more thing. Surya dvarena, Surya upalakshitena, Uttarayanena, Patha, te virajaha, virajasaha, Kshina punya papa karmanaha, Santaha ityarthaha. Yeah. What is Surya Dvarena? I mean, don't think literally they go to the sun and then you wonder how come they are not getting burnt up. Not like that. Surya upalakshitena dvarena. Please take it all figuratively. These are all non-verifiable beliefs. Because nobody is here that we know who says, in the last life I went through Surya Dwara, it's really cool, let me show you my photos. Nobody is there who is Surya Dwara Pravasi and who has returned back. Nobody is there. It's a non-verifiable belief. Then why do you believe? Because you have Shraddha in the Veda, you believe. Actually, whether you believe or not doesn't matter. Because if you say there is no Surya Dwara, there is no Surya Dwaram, is that a belief or not? It's a belief. Is that verifiable? Can you prove to me that there is no Surya Dwaram? No, that's also a belief. Then you say, I believe that there is a solar path and a lunar path. Can you prove to me that they exist? No. So either way, it's a non-verifiable belief. So therefore, we have to take it like that because the Veda says, and then we take the Veda with a lot of reverence. So because we say that the Veda must have something to help me. And so these are the people who are not able to see anything beyond that, beyond their karma and their upasana. For them, this marga is being given. So through this marga, through this solar path, they enjoy the highest form of punya, which is going to Brahmaloka, for which what you have to be? Virajasaha. What is Virajasaha? We already saw the grammatical vyutpatti, from whom all rajas and all raga dvesha have departed. But here he gives one more meaning, Kshina punya papa karmanaha. So, who are these people? For whom the papa punya has exhausted itself. Papa has exhausted by how? By their karma and meditation. And punya has also exhausted by punya they are not attracted to. So they have got vairagya from punya. They are not waiting for that punya to come. So punya is also resolved, as so to speak, because they are not cashing in on that punya. They are not praying for that punya to fructify. So the punya is kind of getting atrophied. It is there in their account, so to speak, but it is not activated. Or even if it's activated, they have vairagya towards it. So one day they go for bhikshatanam, and what do they find? A 10-course meal. And they don't say, oh my God, I was waiting for this, my punya is fructifying. They don't say that. For them it's the same as dal roti, same thing. They don't care what they eat. That is how it is. So kshina punya papa karmanaha santaha. So being like this, they go through they prayanti. So kshina punya papa again must be taken as for upalakshana, because if they were really free of papa punya, would they be born again? Hello? No. Yeah. So they won't be born again. But here they are born again. They do come back. Abrahma bhuvanal lokat punaravartino Arjuna. Punaravartinaha. So because there is punaravritti. Even if you go up to Brahmaloka, you come back. So it's the kshina papa punya is again figurative. Most of the papa punyas are gone through this meditation and ragadvesha subduing practice. Not subduing, resolving practice. Prayanti means prakarshena yanti. They go away. They go, where do they go? Yatra yasmin satyalokadau amritaha sa purushaha prathamajaha hiranyagarbhaha hi avyayatma avyayasvabhavaha. So where do they go? Prayanti, all right, but where do they go? They go yatra, to a place, yasmin, where what? Satyalokadau, where in Satyaloka, called Satyaloka, Brahmaloka, etc., variously called. So saha purushaha prathamajaha hiranyagarbhaha purushaha saha amritaha, they are all in apposition, and including avyayatma also. So they are all in apposition, describing who is the overlord of that place. Who is the overlord of that place? Purushaha. Sarvan purayati iti purushaha. So the word purusha can have two derivations, puri shete iti or purau ushati, the one that is as though trapped in a citadel of the body mind sense complex, that is what? Purushaha. And then the other one is what? Purayati sarvan, that which fills up everything. And so that which fills up everything, and that is also what? Purushaha. So here the second derivation is taken because the person, the Hiranyagarbha Brahmaji, is in a exalted position of the creator. And who is this? Prathamajaha. Adi Shankara says, you may have forgotten the first mantra of this Upanishad. I remember. He is telling us, please you also must remember. How does it start? Brahma Devanam Prathamas Sambabhuva. That Prathamas Sambabhuva here is Prathamajaha. That which came first, that which is the first thing to come with form is Hiranyagarbha. And so then that is called Hiranyagarbha, all knowledge, a being of all knowledge. And he indeed who is Avyayatma. Atma is not Satchidananda Atma here. Adi Shankara clarifies that and says Avyaya Swabhavaha, having the nature of one who has great longevity. And then that is described here. Yavat samsara sthayi etadantah tu samsara gatayah aparavidya gamyaha. So yavat samsarah tishtati tavat this person is there. So that means yavat samsara sthayi, until which time samsara is there. Samsara means this particular cycle of creation is there. Then Brahmaji is in attendance, is the overlord. Came along with creation, goes away along with creation. Ishvara doesn't go away. This iteration of Ishvara as Brahmaji resolves back into Ishvara. We have to be clear about that. So then, so etadantaha tu means whereas, we must see the limitations. Etadantaha means what? So this Hiranya Garbha Pada Akhya Antaha Yasyaha Sa. So what is that? Gati. So this is not describing a person or describing samsara, it is describing the limitations of samsara. Samsara gati means the end of samsara. What is that end of samsara? Etadantaha tu samsara gatayah. So the various gatis means the ends of samsara is etadantaha. Etadantaha means they end in Hiranyagarbha pada. That is what the whole idea is. So the means it is extremely finite. And how is it reached? Aparavidya gamyaha. They are reached only by aparavidya. So aparavidya means what? Meditation. Paravidya or aparavidya? Aparavidya. Ishtakarma, aparavidya. Purtakarma, aparavidya. So aparavidya gamyaha. Whereas what is paravidya gamya? That is one's own nature. One's own nature is understood by paravidya, and all these are what? Aparavidya, relative knowledge versus absolute knowledge, which is going to be the subject matter of the next mantra. Then Adi Shankara is thinking that it is time for a tea break. I'll have some nice chai, but he is interrupted. Nanu etam mokshamicchanti kechit. I have a question, says the objector, Purva Pakshi. Mr. or Ms. Nanu. Nanu means what? Wait a minute, but, indeed, all this. Like it's a Nanu is an interruption. And let me also point out that's an informal interruption. So only when you know people very well, you say Nanu, and you will not say that, you will not say Nanu to the teacher, you will not say Nanu if you have Shraddha. Okay, so this shows that the person who is coming is just coming for a Vada, not Samvada. Most of the Purva Pakshins are like that. Some of them can be converted, but mostly not. So these are people who are sitting and listening all right, but then they have their own notions and they want to ask questions based on their own beliefs, because sometimes nothing has gone in, or if it has gone in, it has not sort of been able to spirit away that notion. So either case, either they have not understood it or they don't want to understand it. This person has a question. What is the question? Etam means this whole discussion that you have, this state of the going to Brahmaloka, this end called Brahmaloka, moksham icchanti doesn't mean desired, manyante we have to take. Moksham manyante kechit. Manyante means some people think of this itself as moksha, is it not so? Because in fact in India itself we will find many people thinking Brahmaloka prapti is moksha prapti. In fact people who die itself we say they have attained moksha. But as I always like to point out, they have attained moksha from you, that's all. Okay? Yeah. So this is all that is. This is the kind of moksha. But here people think it is permanent because they don't come back. They don't come back to that body, the body is disposed of. They don't come back to that body. So we say they have gained moksha. So this Purva Pakshi also belongs to that general category of people who equate any kind of a punya-filled death to moksha. And then Adi Shankara responds. What does he say? We'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti